What's going on, guys? PXCam20 back in with a brand new video. Today we are doing our Manufacturer Cup race here, as we are in our Honda NSX for the, I think, the 5th race of the season, as we are at Tokyo Expressway, the South Inner Loop. This is actually a part of the track that I have not raced on. This is my first time racing on this track, so I'm kind of nervous about it. I feel like I was doing pretty well on the practice races, but it's really tricky, especially on some of these fast sweeping corners on the last sector. It's really dodgy. If you guys get them incorrectly, you can run straight into the wall. Not only that, there's a lot of hard braking points, so you got to be wary of the cars ahead of you and behind you, and just make sure that they don't overrun you guys, or you guys don't outbrake yourself and run into them. So yeah, before we jump into the race, I did do a paid partnership with Eclipse Racing eSports team. So if you guys are looking for a group of avid sim racers, check them out. As you can find out all their links in the description down below. You can find their Twitter handle and their Instagram handle. And yeah, if you guys are looking for a really fun and fast racing esports team that are also, again, really good with racing cleanly and just having fun, definitely check out their links down below. Join their Discord. And if you guys are looking to join, spots are limited, so you guys are going to have to join as soon as possible. So definitely contact the leader of Eclipse Racing esports teams so you guys can get a spot in the team and have fun with some clean, fun racing guys. Now, going back to the lobby, we are racing here for 240 points if we get first place, which is something I feel like I can kind of do here if I get a really good qualifying lap, and if we just stay out of trouble here. As you can see on Tokyo Expressway, we just have walls to the left and to the right of us, so if somebody makes a mistake, or if we make a mistake, we're going straight into the wall, getting a penalty and just losing a ton of positions, as keeping it clean but going fast is the name of the game here at this racetrack. Now, before we jump into the video, if you guys really enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. Anyways, that's enough promoting myself. Let's jump straight into qualifying. Now, coming into qualifying, you can see this awesome livery that Eclipse Racing esports team actually gave me. So if you guys again are interested in joining the team, definitely check them out, as you guys get this really cool livery here. It's orange and black, really awesome colors, kind of reminiscent of the McLaren stuff. But now, coming to the first flyer lap, it's a really interesting exit out of pit road, as it actually leads you to the start finish line, unlike other tracks where you gotta go around the entire track and then hit the start finish line in order to start your lap. This one is just a short run and you start your lap immediately. So finishing our first flyer lap here, you see some cars are finishing up their first lap here. As we're gonna finish our first one, we actually get a 2:04.8, really quick, but not fast enough for a pole. But we are currently in 7th place as we try to go for our second flyer lap. Coming out of the final corner here, we actually get tangled up with the Jaguar, as he kind of leads us into the wall there, and we're gonna lose all the momentum that we actually had on that flyer lap, as we were also almost on pace to get like a low 204, maybe a 203, but because of that ending and hitting that wall, we were unable to. So coming to the end of qualifying here, we're just waiting for everything to settle down and see where we're gonna finish, get the confirmation as we're waiting. And we get the confirmation there, as we are going to start this race in 9th place behind a lot of fast drivers, honestly. But I felt like we could have been probably in 5th or 4th if we would have not made that mistake, but that was all my fault. So coming into the intro now, the strategy for the race here is there are 2 compounds. It's the softs and the mediums, but the mediums are the required tires. So in order to not get a penalty, we're going to have to switch off to the mediums, as we're going to start off on the softs. Maybe run until lap 7 or 8, depending on what our fuel situation, as you cannot finish the race without topping off on fuel. So we're gonna go all the way to the lap 7 or 8, depending on the fuel, switch off from the softs to the mediums, and then top off with some fuel, and then run that all the way till the end of the race. So hopefully we can get a really good finish and just stay out of trouble and avoid these walls, as we now are gonna jump into the race. So coming into the race now, we're getting our 3-2-1 as we are a go now. So we head down to the straightaway, leading us to the start finish line, as we are right behind 8th place now. Staying right behind him on the slipstream, as it's kind of a long straightaway here, leading us into turn number 1. 8th place actually gets a really good run. He's trying to make a move onto the inside of this Toyota right ahead of us, and he's able to make the overtake there. As you can see, we're getting a little bit of a gap from the car behind us, as we are now jumping up into the middle part of lap number 1. So coming into the middle part of lap number 1, we're right behind 8th and 7th. You see there's a gaggle of cars ahead of us, but there's a car ahead of us that also has a penalty. So we just have to be worried about them. Stay very patient. Make overtakes when they make a mistake, if they make any mistakes, and just not force any issues there. As you can see, the Ferrari actually goes wide, goes straight into the wall, and loses momentum as we head down to the straightaway, going down into the tunnel section. Coming out of the tunnel section now, we're able to make the overtake on the Ferrari. We promote ourselves into 8th place after he hit the wall there as we come into the hairpin. Coming to the hairpin, we're braking very, very early and just staying right behind the Toyota. As you can see, the Ferrari actually outbrakes himself, and luckily we weren't on the outside, as he would have probably taken us out if we were on the outside. But we're able to hold off 8th place now as we jump up into lap number 2 on this, I guess you would call this a double hairpin as we head into this 2 right-hander now. Coming to the 2 right-hander, you see 6 and 7 make a little bit of contact there, and that's going to slow down the Toyota here now as we're heading down into the penalty zone. 5th place is going to have to serve his penalty here, so it's going to be very interesting what happens now as he's serving his penalty now on the penalty zone. We're going to head into this fast right-hander. Coming to the fast right-hander, 5th and 6th are going side by side now as one of them makes contact with the wall, and that's going to slow down the black car ahead of us. And we're going to try to catch up to them as we are now in the slipstream, fast forwarding here in the straightaway, leading us into the hairpin. So coming to the hairpin now, we're trying to make a move on to the inside of Toyota as he does open the door for us, but we're just a little too far back. And we do make a little bit of contact with him, but it doesn't really hurt anybody there, as it was the slightest of all slight contacts. As we jump up into lap number 3. Coming into lap number 3, we're heading to this 2 right-handers again, and the Toyota goes out wide, almost runs into the wall, and actually comes back into the track, rams us into the inside wall, and we get hit from behind, and somehow we make an overtake on the Toyota. As we go into the replay here, you see the Toyota just goes out very, very wide, tries to go back onto the track. I don't know if he didn't see us or what, but we get knocked off into the inside wall, but somehow we get the position. But look at how much time it cost us. You can see we just made a huge gap between us and 6th place as we head to the hairpin. Coming to the hairpin, there's a car trying to make a move onto the inside of us as we're going to try to pinch him down. And we actually get a 2-second penalty after we make a little bit more contact with the Ferrari actually coming out of that corner. Not sure why I got that 2-second penalty as we head into the replay here. You see the Ferrari's trying to make him move onto the inside, and we give him space there. I'm not sure why we got the 2-second penalty. I'm not sure if because of the contact or what, but we didn't force him into the inside wall. But for some reason, GT Sport thought that we did a very dirty move, and we have to now serve a 2-second penalty that's going to cost us dearly as we head into turn number 1. So coming into turn 1, the Ferrari makes contact with the wall, and we run into the back of the Ferrari, and that's going to slow us down as we now lose 8th place to the Toyota because of that mistake from the Ferrari. And now this race is just going from bad to worse as we have to serve our penalty now. Serving our 2-second penalty in the penalty zone. You see the cars ahead of us just run away with it as the Lamborghini is catching up to us. He actually makes a move onto the inside there, so we give him space onto the inside. And you can see another car is now trying to make a move onto the right-hand side of us as we are in the slipstream of the Lamborghini ahead of us. Coming down into the tunnel section of this track, we're staying right behind the Lambo as he actually makes contact with the wall. And we're going to try to make a move on to the inside now. So it's going to turn us into the outside here, coming to this right-hander. Going side by side now as we head to the right-hander. We make contact with the Lambo. We get pinched up into the wall. We're going into the wall again. Make contact with another car. And we lose 3 positions because of that. Not sure exactly what happened there as we head to the hairpin. Slowing it down here. It's just me and the Lambo just make contact. And you can see that was the end result right there. So we lose 3 positions there. As looking at the replay again, I think it was just a racing incident. I think I just came down a little too low and he came up a little too much, and we just made contact. So nobody is at fault right there as we come into the hairpin now, which is frustrating because we went from 7th place in a span of 2 laps into a 13th place now as we jump up into lap number 6. So coming to lap number 6, we are in 11th place, so we're trying to make a move onto the outside of the Toyota. Coming to this double right-hander here, we're going to have to serve a 1-second penalty now as we're coming to this double right-hander. Almost made contact with the Aston Martin as he had to serve a penalty too. But we're on the outside of the car to the right of us. Staying onto the outside here as we're going to shuffle right behind 9th place. And we're going to hold off 10th place, but we're going to lose it here as we come into the penalty zone now. So coming out of the penalty zone, we are in 11th place here as you can see how much time we lost to the cars ahead of us. But now we're coming into lap number 7, so we're heading to this double right-hander, and you can see the Audi makes an overtake on us, but we're going to make a cut back here as we're going to try to get back 8th place as we're still on the inside here, still going side by side as we head to this 2 left-handers, and we're going to hold it off on the outside, retake 8th place as we head into this fast right-hander here in the middle section of lap number 7. So very close racing there as we're just trying to make it to lap 8 because that's the time we're going to come into the pits, switch off from the mediums, or not the mediums, but the softs to the mediums, and top off with fuel as we come into a double right-hander. Coming to a double right-hander again, you can see the Audi does a very exact replay of the lap before, so we're just going to make a cutback again, come into the inside, and re-overtake 5th place now, as a couple of cars ahead of us had actually come into the pits the lap prior. So coming back to the replay, see, we just make the cutback there, going to the inside. I think we made a little bit of contact, I'm not sure, but we're able to get back 5th place as we are now on lap number 8, heading down to this right-hander that's going to lead us into the hairpin. So coming to the hairpin now after the long straightaway, we're going to come into the pits now, as we're going to switch off from the softs to the mediums and top off on fuel, as we're putting on the mediums there now. Waiting on the fuel there, as we just need enough to get us to the end of the race. And we're going to come out in 11th place, but there's cars coming past us now as we lose 12th, 13th. And now we are going to lose 13th here to the Toyota. And we are demoted back into 14th place as they have a better straight line speed because we had just came out of the pits as we jump up into lap number 10. So coming to lap number 10, we are in 12th place now as a couple cars came into the pit stops. As we are on the outside here, we almost lose it and go straight into the wall to get into the marbles. And that's going to cost us some momentum now as we come out of turn number 1 as we lose 12th place there. But now we're going to lose 13th place to the Lambo right ahead of us. And we're actually going to lose 14th place as there's another car on the outside of us, and it's the Volkswagen. So we lose 3 places because of that costly mistake and running wide off of turn number 1. So we're trying to make a move back onto the Volkswagens. We're going to keep it onto the inside here. Try to make the move that the Audi made on us. So you can see the Volkswagen trying to make a cutback now. But we're going to hold it off onto the outside and retake 14th place as we now jump up into the middle part of lap number 10. So jumping into the right-hander now as we come into lap number 11. We're on the final sector as we're coming to the final corner now. You see the Lambo and the Volkswagen going side by side as they make contact now. We're going to split both of them as we go straight into the middle here. And we're making an overtake on both of them as we are now promoted into 13th place on lap number 11 as we head now into the final lap. Coming down this short straightaway that's going to lead us into turn number 1. So coming to the middle part of the racetrack now as we're heading past into the penalty zone. We're still in 12th place as the car ahead of us had a service penalty, and it's the 11th place car of the Toyota. The Toyota is now on the outside of us as we're trying to make a move onto the inside, but he makes contact with the wall, but somehow is able to keep the momentum and keep his top end speed. Not sure how that works when you just ran into the wall. Not sure how you don't lose miles per hour, but somehow he's able to hold it off in front of us as he's now flashing his right blinker light. Not sure what to do here as we're just trying to make a move right and left of him. And he's just covering all the positions there as we're staying right behind him on the slipstream here. Almost running straight back into the wall as we run a little bit wide, but you can see the fuel is very, very low here as we're coming to the hairpin. Coming to the hairpin, we're braking as late as we can, trying to make a move onto the inside. But you see right behind us, they're going 3 wide there as we're trying to keep it onto the inside of the Toyota. But we're unable to make the overtake there. As we are now coming into the final sector here, we're still in 12th place. As you can see, we're very, very low on fuel here. So we're just short shifting here on the final sector, keeping it on high revs, or not high revs, but a high gear. As we make contact with the wall, a costly mistake there as the car right behind us is now catching up to us on the final sector. Coming into the 2 final corners now as we're going to come into the final corner. Try to clip it as best as we can, go very, very easy on it. But we may have gone a little too easy. As you can see, the Lambo is starting to catch up to us now as we're covering the inside. The Lamborghini is trying to make a move onto the inside as we're going side by side down to the start finish line. He actually loses fuel. And we lose fuel right at the line too, but we don't lose the position. And we're able to hold off 12th place from the rest of the pack. A very, very entertaining but just disappointing race because I feel like we could have done so much better if we would have not been in all the trouble that we were in, especially with the Lambo, the Ferrari, the penalties. And I think we could have really fought for at least a podium on this racetrack because I just was feeling really, really good, especially after those practice races before this final race. So coming to the points here, we're only getting 130 points for the Manufacturer Cup. I wish we could have gotten more, but we're just going to have to wait for the next race on the Manufacturer Cup, and hopefully we can get some more points on that race. So if you guys found this race, again, very entertaining, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. And don't forget to check out Eclipse Racing eSports team, as again, they have promoted me on this race. And again, just check them out. Really, really cool guys. If you guys want to have really fun racing with some clean guys, definitely check them out, as you can find out all their information in the description down below. Anyways, that was enough for me. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.